Luis. Here we are with your swing analysis video. We're going to start with an iron from the face-on view. We've already tested and we know that you're a center anchor golfer, maybe center left, and you're a side cover golfer. So we're going to check to see what's going on in your golf swing in relation to those features. As we get started, note where your head is on that pole in the background. As you swing to the top of the backswing, we're going to see how centered you stay throughout the whole backswing. You'll notice your head stays pretty much right on that mark, so you've got a good center anchor motion moving the top. Your hips have countered a little bit forward. Again, we know that you have a little counter swivel in your swing, so that's a good action that you've made to the top of the backswing. What I want you to notice next is how you tend to slide into your left leg and work downward through the golf ball. Although we want that club head working down heavy through the impact zone, your head tends to drop and your body tends to drop as you work down through the ball and into the fall through. As we look into this next sequence, we see you even drop more with your head and you tend to stay very down and under into your fall through. You are a side cover golfer. Instead of working under, we need your posture to be working more upward, more vertically through the ball, giving you room for a better extension so that you can actually sink everything up in your golf swing. The good news is you recover into a nice tall follow through and end up in a good finish position, in a well balanced finish position. Once again, as you swing to the top of the backswing, you stay in a very centered position. Head is counterbalancing that center anchor action very well. In the transition here, you've actually moved into your left foot. You've got a good weight shift into your left side. You're going to create some good angles here in the downswing, at least in the first half of the downswing, due to this lateral motion you make. Of course, this is more of a thrower's action right now instead of a swinger's action. As the swing transitions downward, you actually retain some good angles here. I'm already starting to see some shrugging in your shoulders though. That shows me that you're going to stay down through the ball instead of launch your verticals like you need to as a side cover golfer. From this point on, what I'd like to see is you posting up on your left leg, followed by getting your head and your sternum to move more upward, making room to get your arms a little bit more in front of you and to have more extension through impact. Since your knee tends to stay bent and your head tends to stay down as you move further into delivery, notice how your shoulders start shrugging. Once again, you need to have more verticals pushing upward off the ground at this point to make room for your delivery action so you can get a better extension through impact. As you move into impact, we can see how much your lower body has outraced your arms and hands. Your head's still down, your shoulders are shrugging. There's very little room for extension at this point. Even though we've yet to test your linkage, it's pretty clear to me that your rear linkage right now, and that's failing to work for you, you could be a lot better. We need to get the hands more out in front of your stomach through impact instead of keeping that right arm married to your right side for so long. Into the follow through, we can see how much you drop down again. Instead of working upward with your body through impact, you're dropping downward. You do recover into a nice full follow through and then you recoil back into a good finish position with your arms out in front of your body. From the down the line view, your posture looks okay for now. We can get it to be a little bit more poised as time goes on. As you initiate the takeaway, your right arm's working in a side cover manner and the club face is staying relatively square to the arc. That's all good stuff, no reason to change. As you move up to the top of the backswing, I'd like to see the right elbow be a little bit deeper. It does get alongside the body, but being a side cover golfer, you'd be better off having a little bit deeper backswing. Well, notice as you move to the top of the backswing that you do tend to have a little bit of a lift, and that's because that right elbow wasn't quite deep enough for you during your takeaway. You do recover to the top of the backswing pretty good, actually pulling the right arm a little bit back more on the side, and you get the club in a good position at the top of the backstroke. During the transition, you do a good job of getting the right arm married to the right side of the body into the delivery position. That's something that all side cover golfers need to do. Since it looks like you're more of a center linkage golfer, from this point you need to get your hands more in front of your stomach as you move through delivery and through impact. You'll tend to keep that right arm more married to your right side a lot longer. Here we are halfway into delivery and we can still see the right elbow married to the right side of the body, almost as if you're trying to put it in your side pocket. It's also pretty clear that you're staying down at this point. We'd like to see you starting to get more vertical, at this point in the golf swing so that you can get a better extension through impact. As the stroke moves into impact, we still see the right arm married to the right side. Now, a lot of people see this as a classic impact position, but what we've seen from the face-on view is that your arms and hands are well behind your body and instead of being in front of your body. Your body's actually outracing your arms through impact. Now we can see the effects of you working downward with your body through impact instead of your body launching upward. We want to synchronize our vertical actions. The arms, hands, and club are working downward through the ball, but we want the body working more upward through the ball. As you move into the follow through even further, we can see how much more you're still staying down as the club's working upward. We'd like to see you releasing your postural angles well before this on your way up to the finish. We're going to see a lot of similarities in your driver swing, however there are a couple of differences. As we get started, as you move into the backswing, your head does drift a little rearward, showing that you're shifting a little bit more laterally in the backswing with the driver. I'm sure that's in an effort to try to create more power in your golf swing. Again, we'd like to see a little better counter swivel and a little better center anchor, motion to the top of the backswing. Create a strong lateral push into the delivery position, getting over your left side. You needed to get over your left side, so you needed to make that lateral push because you drift so much. With a better counter swivel action, you can have just more of a bump instead of a big slide, and you'll have ability to get your arms a little bit more in front of your body as you work through the delivery process. I do like the angles you're creating here with the left arm in the shaft and your right arm married to your right side. You are poised to make a good delivery with your arms. We just need to see if you're going to work upward or downward with your body through impact. At this point, you're well into the delivery action. Your head is actually moving even more backward. You're tilting rearward. Your hands are well back by your right pocket instead of getting in front of your body. This gets you, in a position where it's easy to block it and flip it. Your hands actually have to learn to catch up and get back in front of you so that you can save your golf shots. Now you're a good player and you have good eye-hand coordination, so we can see as you move through the full extension you have got your arms back in front of you and you have saved it. But this allows for some inconsistency, especially under pressure. Again, you're hanging back an awful lot here as you move through the extension, and we'd like to see you using your vertical forces better through impact. As you continue in the follow through, once again we see a lot of sliding and arching and the head is staying down. If anything, it's dropped down more instead of working upward. This is an under golfer's move, and you're actually a side cover golfer, so we got to learn to deliver that club more as a side cover golfer. Even so, it's apparent that you've worked on finishing your swing well because you're in a well-balanced position here. The one thing I notice is you tend to be hanging back. Even though you have a vertical alignment in your body, it's leaning rearward, and you have a lot of weight on your right foot. I'd like to see you standing much more vertically over your left leg. Down the line view, you initiate the takeaway with pretty good side cover alignment in the right form. I like to see the right elbow moving more to the right side though. That'll put you in a better side cover position throughout the whole backswing. We can see here that the right elbow stay much more in front of the body instead of alongside the body. Now conventional teaching says that that's a good thing, but what we've learned for side cover golfers is that they perform a lot better when that right elbow is much more alongside the right side of the body. Since you keep the right elbow a little bit more in front of your body, you tend to cross the line at the top of the backswing. You also create a little bit of a lift to get there. If we had a little bit more depth with that right elbow, we'd be in a little better position at the top of the backswing. Even so, you're in a pretty good position here, and I'm just splitting hairs, so we just like to improve what you're doing so that you can have better consistency. During the transition, you do a good job of getting the right arm married to the right side of the body and getting the shaft in a good plane for delivery. However, you've done this while sliding your body forward, and that's going to initiate a throwing action through impact. As you move into impact, we notice how much that right arm is married to the right side. That right elbow is still right alongside your body. This is great for players like Byron Nelson and Jim Furyk. However, for you, we notice that your arms are too far behind your body. We'd like to get your hands more in front of your stomach so that you could deliver that club with a little better vertical action, and actually it'll work more with your rotation as well instead of having to throw your release. As you move through the ball and into the fall through, we can see how much your body is stalled, it's dipping, and you've had to throw that release. Look how vertical this golf shaft is now. That's happening because the body's staying down and something else has to go upward to counterbalance it. If you got your body to launch more vertically and rotate around, the club could move around with your body, and the arms, club, and the body would be much more in sync with each other. Revideoed the ball throw for me, so we're going to take a look at it. The main things I want you to look at is how much your head stays down as you throw the ball. We want to get our body launching vertically as we throw that ball downward, and that will help accelerate the throw, and in the golf swing it'll help accelerate the club head.